Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Trap on the Boomer Bus channel, Bears podcast by a Bears fan. I'm your host, Terry, and unfortunately recapping our playoff loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to want to do this, but I'm sure people want a place to vent their frustration, a place to maybe, think about the good stuff we did this season. Who knows? But either way, gotta be here. Win, lose, tie. Bears fans till we die. So, remember how, I've been saying throughout the season, and a lot of people get upset and, accuse me of being too negative because I'm not living in the moment. Well, the season isn't built to win the moment. The season is built to win the Super Bowl and win games. And again, I can appreciate the things we do, but we talk about certain issues because we want the long road. We want to be good in the long road. And certain issues, when they become a trend, they have a chance of repeating themselves. So for us to lose on a Cody Parkey, I can't even pronounce, but hitting the goalpost again. What other way? What other way? I thought it was really going to come down to a defensive stand. And you know what? It was intense, but it was like, I'd rather have the ball or the game in our defense's hands and having to stop somebody, because that's who we are. But didn't get that job done. But Trubisky now put us in position, credit to them, to kick the field goal. And Cody Parkey wasn't a surprise. It wasn't like, wow, we never saw that. This is like the fifth or sixth time he did it. And so this is why things matter, why everybody wants to celebrate. You gotta also take in the things that could come back to haunt you. So unfortunately, that's the way it shakes out. Just kind of talking about the game, you know what? It's what I expected, a real defensive battle. It wasn't so much a game of field position. At times it was, but really it was just really keeping people out the end zone. And so, it started off really slow and it never picked up points wise, but I feel like both teams were moving the ball. So it never really was a field position battle. It just kind of came down to who could get in the end zone, as these games usually tend to do. So, for me, it's weird because this is one of the first times, it feels like it's upside down, where I'm more impressed with what the offense was able to do game plan wise, and not so much with what the Bears defense had to do. And so that isn't really me trying to pat myself on the back. The fact of the matter is, in the preview, I said defense, if it's me, especially early on, I'm choking up on the Eagles, playing press, and I'm jamming, and I'm blitzing. And then you blitz early on, kind of consistently, get the clock sped up, and then maybe you stop blitzing, but you still press and make those passes tough. And the proof is in the pudding. You watch the tape. When we were at our best defending Nick Foles, it's when we played tough man coverage. Other than that, we played far too much zone coverage and too much quarters coverage. And I know that's kind of what we do throughout the year, but you got to play the matchup. I've said, I was talking to someone, I will take the Kyle Fuller or Prince Amukamara 50-50 ball against Alshon Jeffrey every time, rather than the Zach Ertz sitting under the zone or coming across on the zone and dumping it down. I will take that 50-50 chance every time because we have physical corners. Our corners are too physical for us not to press more often than we did, especially when you got a team of receivers that aren't that great at separation. What they do is play action to hesitate you a little bit, and then they work underneath your zone. That's all they do. And so if we would have choked up more, then you really would have made Foles make some tough passes, and we did at times. I just thought we should have did it a little more. And then Khalil Mack, it was, so I would say the difference between them and the Rams. And the Rams we saw where we were diving inside all the time. And I talked about it because Jared Goff isn't that mobile. And so if you dive inside, he's not going to kill you if you break contain. And so Foles is similar, except Foles manipulates the pocket better. So I give him that credit. But really, you got more athletic tackles than the Rams do. Now, Lane Johnson, yes, very athletic. Peters, he wasn't moving the same way. So I saw Mac intentionally dive inside once or twice. And other times it's him trying to set up the head zone and the fake and not really committing to turning the corner or diving inside. And I think that gave Peters enough hesitation to keep him at bay. And so I feel like, yes, Nick Foles is better at manipulating the pocket, but I would have treated it much like we did Jared Goff, where I would have had the line, at least the ends, crashing inside a lot immediately and getting that immediate pressure because we're fast enough to cross Jason Peters' face and get in there. And so there's that. I mean, they had a couple runs on us, but for the most part, we shut the run down. The play action, I wouldn't say really it was the fake that killed us. It was just, again, kind of that soft zone. And at times they got underneath it. And so, that hurt us. So I feel like that the defense could have went about it a different way. Now, offensively, they did a lot of what I was talking about. We didn't slant at all, which I think would have been a little better, but we went underneath a whole bunch. And again, that's why I said offenses, they get impatient with that because you see, we didn't score a whole bunch of points. We didn't have a bunch of explosion plays, but we were really frustrating the defensive backs and helping stall the pass rush a little bit. Now, once you do that enough early on, that sets up aggressive D-backs to hit double moves and whatnot, and that's what kept us in the game. Like, outside of what happened with Cody Parkey, we would have never even been in this game if Nagy didn't have the right game plan to, okay, we baiting them and we baiting them. Now it's double move. Sluggo to Allen Robinson was one of the bigger plays that kind of kicked it off. Then they did a fake screen to Gabriel and Bellamy went down the field. You really had the defense sucked up and trying to play aggressive. Then you hit it behind them for the long pass. And that's really what, I was looking for us to do. And so I got to give credit to Trubisky, man. He made me a believer. I'm actually pretty optimistic going into next season with him because you look at Deshaun Watson, and I'm not I know how this is going to sound, but it's the truth. And Lamar Jackson, whoever, you look at how they played today and how all that running and being mobile and all that, it could get, I always tell you, it could get you first downs. It could get you a score. It could maybe win you some regular season games, but in the playoffs, you got to be able to pass from the pocket. And one of the best things for Trubisky probably was his ankle slowing him down a little bit. He could run, but he wasn't running like he typically does. And that forced him to make plays from the pocket. And he looked good. I mean, he's not perfect, but I was saying the 49ers game, I haven't seen him stick in the pocket and make those tough throws yet. This is the first time I've seen him do it, and he did it multiple times. And good throws. That pass to Robinson right between the corner and the safety, that's top shelf passing right there. And you had to do it when the game mattered the most. So there's that. And yeah, I was really excited to see Trubisky making some throws. I wouldn't say that I never believed he could do, but throws that I just haven't seen him do. And the thing is, when you have those spread mobile quarterbacks, they fall too much in love with that, and then they don't know what to do when they can't do that. You saw that with Deshaun Watson, and you saw that with Lamar Jackson today, or yesterday. And so you see that once they fall in love with doing that, because I said before, once they find something that works, players love it. They want to keep doing that because that's what works. They don't want to try something else. And so when it comes to crunch time, well, can you be able to make these throws? And so it came to crunch time and Trubisky looked like a full-fledged quarterback. So that, I have to give him props for that. Again, Nagy set up plays for those guys to be open, so he knew who he was looking at. That's the mental part Nagy did for him. But Nagy can't pass for Mitch. And so Mitch made those throws, so I give him that credit. Yeah, man, it's a tough loss. Tough loss. Yeah, there's not much else to say, man. We'll be looking forward to the off season and, probably sometime this week kind of do a season recap to kind of talk about everything and hopefully we'll, I know we won't feel great, but we'll hopefully feel better than we do right now. So, but yeah, definitely go to the comment section, say whatever you feel. Thumbs up, subscribe, share it around, get the convo started, and remember, stay up and bear down.